We're live, pal. So I have no idea why I thought I needed to start vlogging or start a vlog or anything of that nature. For some reason, I just feel like I needed to, you know, everyone who knows me knows that I've been in television, radio, news for, I did 14 years. And sometimes I'm a storyteller, and sometimes I just have to tell these stories or give my opinion about things, whether it's warranted or not, whether you ask for it or not. But if you click on this video, then you know what you're getting. So, but don't be afraid to hit me up with any kind of questions. I'm going to cover a variety of topics today. Surprisingly, wrestling and sports are really not any of them. There is a sports figure involved in some of the topics I want to talk about. But first, I want to talk about Tabitha and I and the podcast. We haven't done a podcast in almost a year now. I just want to say thank you to everybody at thenerdmentality.com. They gave us a home, they gave us a platform, and they were really fantastic with us, even when we were difficult to work with. So I want to thank them, wish them nothing but the best and all the success in the world. Tabitha and I have been kicking around the idea of starting our podcast again, but more of a webcast and a Facebook exclusive. Not sure yet. We've got some other things we have to iron out, but if we do it, it's going to be on Sundays only, and it's going to be on Sunday evenings when there's one of the big four pay-per-views aren't going on. One of the big four WWE pay-per-views, because I don't miss Royal Rumble. I don't miss WrestleMania. SummerSlam, I can watch. It's fun. But if I miss it, I'm probably not going to be too butthurt. Or what's the other one? Survivor Series. Okay, I could skip that one. That one's okay. So one of the big three, maybe even Super Bowl Sunday sometimes. Game of Thrones nights. This will be the last season. There's only 6 episodes. We may do it after just to do some follow-up. So, but either way, here's what I'm just stuff that is chewing me up today. I have a lot of you know when it comes to movies, and I'm a huge movie buff. I especially love the comic book genre, but even I'm starting to get burned out right now. And it's not good because it looks like we're going to end with a bang or with nothing but controversy. The reason I say this, and I'm sure a lot of you know, the Captain Marvel movie is dropping this week, and it's got a ton of reviews already. It's, what is it? I think it's 87% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 93 reviews. Now, here's the problem. The early reviews, when the movie wasn't even out, it's still not out, but you get what I'm saying. There were some trolls who were, oh my God, the terrible movie, terrible, and Brie Larson's terrible. Okay, well, she is terrible. She's not a good actress, and a lot of this was sparked by comments that she made about she wasn't going to let nothing but old white men review her movie or be at the screenings. Okay, I don't know of any. I just don't think there's going to be that many old white people that show up to your movies, especially. There's so many more people who review movies nowadays. And don't get me wrong, Rotten Tomatoes is a good gauge, but it's not the end all be all. Rotten Tomatoes is just what it is. But now, if you look at IMDb, Amazon, the comments on rating movies, like even on Netflix, you can't even comment or give it 5 stars or anything like that. It's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's it. That's the most negative thing you can say about it. So for her to say that, it just created this aura of controversy and backlash before the movie ever hit the screen. And that's a damn shame. Now, I posted something earlier that really had nothing to do with the controversy surrounding what Brie Larson has said and what reviewers have said. I posted something about the real Captain Marvel, Shazam. He was invented and debuted in 1939. Billy Bastion and Shazam was a household name long before Brie Larson or Carol Danvers or Captain Marvel of the Marvel comics came around. Chuck just asked, is this the actress in Captain Marvel? Yes, it is. She's just not good. And, when I first saw that she had been cast, I was hopeful, and I'm still hopeful, but now, just whatever. I'll still see the movie. I probably will not go to the theater and see it, but I probably will see the movie. That I just have a huge problem. Either we need a website that becomes popular where the trolls tone it down, but also the snowflakes turn it down. Okay. It's like, just give honest opinion, leave politics out of it, leave your gender identity out of it, just whatever. Just say, hey, this was a great movie, or hey, this was a terrible movie. We had the same thing with Ghostbusters with the female remake, and that whole debacle with Lauren Jones or Laura Jones. I can't remember the lady's name. And what's the gay guy? And I only say that because it's descriptive. It's not, what is his name? Milo Yiannopoulos. That whole controversy. That was the only thing that did anything for that movie. Seriously, Ghostbusters, the female remake, was god awful. It was terrible. And now they're coming out with another Ghostbusters movie, but they're treating like the female Ghostbusters never even existed, which is the right thing to do, actually. And it's, oh my God, I can't believe you're discrediting. No, you discredited the movie. But if you say that, then you're labeled as a misogynist, you're racist, you're the second son of Hitler. I mean, you see what I'm saying? By the way, that's sarcasm for those of you who haven't looked it up. But that's my thought on the Captain Marvel controversies. And I hope it does. Obviously, it's going to do well, and it's going to make money. And I hope the movie is good. And, I've lost a lot of respect for Brie Larson, and I just hope it all ends up, with Endgame and Avengers, and hopefully we can maybe start fresh. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk a little bit in politics. No, I'm not bashing Donald Trump, believe it or not. I mean, I could go on and on about that fool. But what I'm going to talk about today is the liberal left-wing darling, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She is now being too political. This is from the Washington Examiner. Now, in all fairness, the Washington Examiner is a very far right-leaning news outlet. They're like the Fox News of newspapers. Does anybody still have newspapers? Does anybody buy newspapers or still have a newspaper subscription? Leave your comment below and let me know. No, baby, I'm not doing a podcast without you. I'm just kind of shaking the storytelling off. I'm sorry. I love you too much. Please don't leave me. I need you. No, for those of you who just tuned in, Tabitha and I are looking into restarting the podcast, making it a webcast, Facebook exclusive. Not sure how that's going yet. I talked all about that earlier. So when this video ends, rewind it to the very beginning and I'll talk more about that. Anyway, AOC, as she's known as, she is under fire because this is, even though the Washington Examiner is very right-leaning publication, these are the facts. 2 political action committees founded by AOC, AOC's top aide, funneled over $1 million in political donations into private companies, according to a complaint that was filed with the Federal Election Commission on Monday. So, don't get me wrong. Obviously, the government is kind of centrist right now, maybe leaning a little bit towards the right because the Senate and the executive branch are still controlled by the GOP, but it's still federal that's coming after her. Now, of course, she's trying to deny it. Here's the thing with politicians these days. If it's something that somebody else does, I mean, just once again, it's kind of the Captain Marvel principle. You can't say anything bad about AOC or Representative Iman from Minnesota, I think she is, all the anti-Semitic claims. It's ridiculous. I mean, if you say something bad about anybody other than a white person, then you're Ben Shapiro kind of said it best. There's this hierarchy of victims, and you have you know what, I'm not even going to get into that, but either way, if you're a minority, then you're just the white man, or you're just mansplaining. They used to have womansplaining too. It was called nagging. Okay, seriously, Get the mansplaining. Who the hell came up with that? That is the most ridiculous thing I've heard of. No, it's not the most ridiculous thing. Privilege. Either way, anyway, she had her, and if I remember correctly, I've got to go a little bit more here. Her campaign finance attorneys described the arrangement as really weird, and there's something missing. Well, not hers, but others. And the complaint names Ocasio-Cortez, and I'm going to butcher this name, Shakabarati, as its respondents. Shakarati or Shaka Khan, whatever. He was named in it as well because he's her chief of staff. And I believe that was her boyfriend that she was funneling money to or something like that. He founded a PAC called Brand New Congress in 2016. They admittedly, in a Rachel Maddow interview, said that they were going to follow the Bernie Sanders thing, but apparently they did the Bernie Sanders model and sprinkled in a little Hillary and a little Trump, and boom, you've got this mess. But what's even more shocking to me is how all the right-wing publications or media outlets are, they're telling the story. Left-wing media outlets like CNBC, let's see, I guess that show The View. It's not really a media outlet, it's more of a pundit. It's basically, I don't get it's basically five women nagging. They're okay. Heather still has a newspaper subscription. That's awesome. Chuck came just for the comics talk. He's not talking about our politics. Uh-oh. Okay. A new iPhone that keeps dropping while hooked to Wi-Fi? Well, that's problem one. It's an iPhone. So let's be honest, folks. It's an iPhone. But Ocasio-Cortez, she's being investigated regardless of what any media outlet wants to tell you. And those are just the facts. And her campaign is being looked at. That's her own fault. But I do find, she got mad about the whole hamburger thing. If you watch the video clip of when she was confronted at an airport where they questioned about the investigation into her finances, she's very shady about the whole thing. She was very Donald Trump about it. And then they really got her with the whole, well, your whole new Green New Deal is wanting to get rid of planes. Why didn't you take the Amtrak? And she said, oh, it saved my constituents a couple hours. No, bitch. Get the hell out of here. Everybody knows a plane is going to be a lot more time saving and time convenient than just a couple hours. Give me a break here. All right, let's move on, folks. Another big controversy, and I'm going to get a little more in depth with this one. So this is according to Yahoo Lifestyle from Oprah's magazine, the Oprah magazine. Does anybody buy magazines anymore? I mean, every once in a while I'll still get like a fantasy football magazine, but it's just quicker for me to go through that than to try to do it online with my computer. So Will Smith has reportedly, this is according to Oprah magazine, Will Smith has reportedly signed to portray Richard Williams, the 77-year-old father of Venus and Serena, the tennis stars, in a biopic titled King Richard. Really? King Richard? But despite his incredible range as an actor, the recent casting news is met online with an unusual combination of praise and outrage. Okay. And the controversy has nothing to do with Will Smith not having a background in tennis or anything like that. They're questioning his skin tone. In other words, he's not black enough to play Venus and Serena Williams' dad. I got to be honest. When I first read this, I thought it was a rib. I thought it was a goof that somebody was spiffing me. And no, this is a legit thing. People are outraged because, and when I say he's not black enough, they're saying his skin tone is not right. Really? I mean, this is where we're at in 2019, folks. This is where we're at. This is just absolutely ridiculous. I am blown away. Okay, so so what's going to be next? I mean, I get it. In a biopic, you want to try to be as accurate as possible, but if that role would have went to, what's the guy's name, Wayne Brady, they would have thrown a fit because, oh, he's safe for the white people or something like that. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Um, he's just not. Yeah, I laughed too when I saw that, Heather. He and I had a civil conversation with this about a friend of mine, Jade, who is a former colleague of mine, still a very dear friend of my heart. Miss her to death. We only get to talk online, and really awesome lady. I miss her to death. Jade, I hope you're kicking ass and doing things out in California. She's got her own little webcast. I believe it's called I Said What I Said. It's on YouTube. Go check that out. They just dropped their first one, or their first episode last month, a recap of the Grammys. However, now I'm going to stop kissing her ass. Well, not exactly kissing her ass, but I'm going to stop blowing smoke. Jade mentioned that it was not that Will Smith wasn't black enough. It's a colorism thing. Now, I want to know who invented the term colorism. And I want to know, where was all this outrage when Robert Pattinson was cast to play El Chapo, or whatever that Hispanic Mexican drug dealer was? Maybe it wasn't El Chapo, it was the other guy. Salvador or something like that. I can't remember. And where were the trans or the LGBT community when Cate Blanchett played? I can't remember off the top of my head. But either way, we are finding things to become professional victims at. And this is just amazing to me. I hope some of the tweets are in. Okay. Clarence Hill Jr. Really? That can't be Clarence Hill's son. No way. He tweeted, "Colorism matters. Love Will Smith, but there are other black actors for this role." Are you serious? Will Smith is about to become the Scarlett Johansson of black movies. I think you mean that title will always belong to Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, that's so wrong. Ira. Is this makeup artist from Nina available? I don't know what that is. But then this is a good one. Somebody replied, "I'm so offended that they didn't get a real blue person to play Aladdin, the genie in Aladdin, which Will Smith plays in the that, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Let me see. This guy at Shine 254. So let me understand that a black man can only play a black man if he's the right shade of black. In that case, Denzel Washington should have never played Malcolm X. He's got a point. He's got a point. I mean, if that's the case, the greatest, arguably the two greatest actors of all time, Denzel Washington. Oh, hold on. So nobody threw a fit when Viola Davis was nowhere near the size that Amanda Waller should have been. Where's the fat shaming? Where's the fat shamers? Okay. This is not colorism. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people will disagree with me or leave nasty comments, and that's fine, but it's not a thing. It's something that we've created to be so, it's something we've created to be a victim to and have butthurt feelings. Give me a break, folks. It's ridiculous. Go check it out for yourself. It's just absolutely astonishing to me. So, all right, let's talk about a little bit more. I mentioned at the beginning a sports figure. I'm not going to talk about sports, but we're going to talk about a sports figure. We're going to talk arguably about one of the most infamous sports figures of all time, Adam Pac-Man Jones. For those of you who know him, he's just an idiot. He's a goofball. All the athletic talent in the world and just an idiot. So, and this is funny because this actually happened really close to my hometown. So last week, this is according to TMZ, a spokesperson for the Indiana Gaming Commission tells TMZ Sports officials were called to investigate Jones for possibly cheating. Bro, You ain't Phil Ivey, okay? You ain't Phil Ivey. When they responded, Jones became visibly combative and disorderly and was placed under arrest. Nuh-uh. Really? Pac-Man Jones disorderly? No shit. You're kidding me. That's sarcasm. And he was arrested, and he was at the Rising Star Casino in Indiana. He was booked in jail around 3 a.m. He was reportedly drunk off his arse. And I'm not going to play the video here because there's some derogatory terms that he uses, and I don't care if he uses them towards a cop, or I don't care if he uses them towards another African-American. I don't care who he's using that language towards. I'm not playing it. But he just suck my blank, I hope you die, and a lot of other expletives. So this is not the first time he's been in trouble. Currently, he's a free agent. He's been with the Titans, Cowboys, and Bengals. He's been elected to 1 Pro Bowl. And he's a loser. He may not be a loser on the field, but he's just a loser in life. How do you have all that money and all that talent and just can't get yourself right? It makes no sense to me. I don't understand. Either way, so he's a moron. Nobody's going to touch him now with a 10-foot pole. Please save your Colin Kaepernick comments. I'm not talking about that fool either. Okay? Because I got the feeling that was coming up next. Anyway, all right, let's get things a little bit more on the lighter side. Let's stop taking ourselves so seriously, shall we? Myself included. I just like to hear the sound of my own voice. That's why I have the headphones on. Okay, so want to send out. Now, we'll do that last. Okay, so a lot of you have probably seen it already, but I'm going to recap the Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer, which just dropped earlier today. Oh, so much fun there. So much fun. If it loads. I've got to get a better computer. That's just all there is to it. I'm going to start saving up and getting a better computer because this damn all-in-one thing, it ain't getting it done, dude. I'm here to tell you. Here we go. Alrighty. Okay. Here we go. I want to know who Arya is running from because they made her out to be this badass in the last couple of seasons.
He's got many faces.
So who the hell is she running from?
I look forward to seeing this one.
April 14th. It has begun.
Everything you did brought you where you
The
are
Golden
now.
Company. Oh, okay. So they survived the dragon attacking the wall. Yes. Spoiler alert.
Oh,
I was reading an article that was saying that the battle for Winterfell, or the battle at Winterfell between the zombies or the walkers and the humans, was bigger and longer than the epic battle in Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. And that's saying something because they've had some epic battles in this show. The Massacre at Hardhome, Battle of the Bastards, even the Battle at Blackwater Bay. They were all very epic. Oh, wow. It just looks amazing to start. Jeez. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. If you can't wait either, comment in the comments. Let me know if you can't wait, because I like not waiting. So, okay. And one other trailer that dropped earlier was the Dark Phoenix trailer. Check that out, shall we? Dark Phoenix trailer and kaboom. Okay. This one 5 days. Yeah, 5 days ago. So earlier this week, or late last week, whatever you want to say. Okay, I'm really, really over Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. I never was a big fan of that casting choice anyway.
Why did you make me do that?
Because I liked it.
Look at me. Focus on my voice. I'm not giving
What
up
is
on
this
you,
shit
Jean.
on her face?
She was my friend.
Her forehead just looks
You're
like it
in
has the
family,
biggest
Jean.
blackheads
No
ever.
matter what.
Stop.
Ooh.
Look. You're special, Jean. And if you stop fighting that force inside you, if you embrace it,
I have to keep checking back and forth to see if Facebook has shut me down. I love Sophie Turner. We should have just named this the Sophie Turner episode. So I want to know who dies.
Tell me how we fix this, Charles. Tell me what to do. I don't know what to do.
and what they don't understand,
Is that the White Queen?
and what they fear, they seek to destroy.
It's your fault, Charles. I tried to protect her.
I'm scared.
Oh, so that's the chick
When I lose
that
control.
plays Molly Bloom in Molly's Game.
Exactly.
I knew I saw her
Love.
somewhere. Great
Well
movie
done.
too. If you haven't seen
She's still
it.
Jean. We can still help her.
Sometimes you want to believe people are something that they are not. By the time you realize who they are, it's too late.
I love this girl that got to play Storm. She should have been Storm all along. Uh-oh.
She's coming.
You know, I'm really excited for that one. I'm super stoked. I'm pumped. I definitely want to see that one because The Dark Phoenix is one of my favorite comic book stories of all time. I hope it follows the story a little bit better than what was X-Men Last Stand. Oh, God, such a terrible movie. Anyway, so that's going to do it. Real quick before we go, got to give a couple of shout outs, prayers, and thoughts to the families of Luke Perry and King Kong Bundy. For anybody that doesn't know Luke Perry, I know a lot of people know him right now as the dad on Rivendell, but he was, you know, the hottest thing in the 90s. When 90210 hit the screen, Luke Perry became an overnight superstar. And it just kind of worries me because if I remember right, I think he was only 52 and he passed away from a stroke. I'm not too far off of that. I mean, he had the stroke, a few days in the hospital, and then he passed away. So thoughts and prayers to his family. King Kong Bundy, he wasn't much older than Luke Perry. I think he was 58. But again, he was just in really bad shape to begin with. I mean, somebody that big, you don't expect him to live much longer than what he lived. And I hate to, it's just terrible. But either way, thoughts and prayers to their families. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for everybody who watched, and thanks for everybody who had great questions, good comments. Like I said, Tabitha and I, we're going to do a little more talking, try to work out some logistic things, and hopefully we'll get the podcast, or we may even rebrand it, not even call it the Unicorn and the Dozer anymore. I just, if you have any good ideas, please let me know. Should we continue to do pop culture? Should we make it a centric? Should it just be entertainment? Should it be, I don't know. I kind of like sports, or not sports, but pop culture, because it's so encompassing of so many things and so many umbrellas that you can be under there. Chuck, you're the best, man. You are so awesome. And guys, thank you so much for everybody who listened and watched or whatever else. I think the 30-minute mark is a good place to wrap this up. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it, and take care of yourselves.